Yeah, never let him know your dream. Put it into a dark regime, transform the score machine. I ain't had no pot to piss and now I'm frying competition. Burn my way to top position, scared of heat, fuck out the kitchen. Let him cook. Let me cook. Let him cook. Let me cook. Let me cook. Let him cook. I'm frying competition.
What's up?
That shit still hypes me up every fucking time.
Every time.
How are you guys this evening?
That was a good week.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, hey, I know we were talking about topics next week. We are going to debut that all women's pay-per-view.
Nice.
So tune in next Friday for that.
Nice.
We waited for you last week because we knew you had the internet issue.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, I was like, nah, I want to wait for him so he can present his too, because I knew, like, you had some good shit.
I was mad at myself that I missed.
Yeah, we improvised on it, because it worked.
Oh, I know. I dug the show.
Yeah, hey, so anybody tuning in, man, I want to apologize. Daniel brought something to my attention, Trevor, when we were on the show Monday night.
Okay.
There was a lot of comments, and I caught it post-show. Hey, what's up, Miguel? I had no idea we were getting comments in the thread the way we were. And Daniel thought we just were going with him and like engaging. And I'm like, nah, bro. I didn't see shit.
Wow.
Like,
yeah, because I know you responded to me a little later, after I had put the message out there. But I mean, it wasn't no big deal. I was listening to you guys conversate, but I didn't think nothing about it until you just said something.
Yeah, I don't know what had happened, but I wasn't getting the comments on my side the way it was showing. Like, there was a lot that I seen that I'd missed. And I'm like, damn, so I wanted to put that out there. I apologize for not seeing it.
Yeah,
I know it's technical difficulty type shit, but
sometimes it happens, and we appreciate everybody for being patient and understanding through it all.
Oh, yeah. He turned around, he's like, man, you go to Universal and you do the show the next day. He's like, you don't even talk to me on the show. I was like, bro, I had no idea you were messaging.
Hey, and look, I just want to do a shout out, bro. Based on the pictures, just from your social media, you guys do it big, man. I mean, that was what's up. I watched that whole little thing you got, that whole little tale you went on, man. It was pretty cool.
That was dope.
Yeah, it looked like it was, bro. It makes me want to get all my kids and like seriously, I need to win the lottery. You guys help me out. Maybe we'll do a every week, Powerbomb. I got 8 kids. It's expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say the news put out there for $200 you can get tickets for the rest of the year for both parts.
Oh, season passes?
Yeah. I'm not doing it, but they can keep prices like that. That ain't bad.
That's not bad at all.
Right.
Not at all.
$200 for 4 people for the whole year? Say less. So what y'all think of SmackDown?
I think it was lit.
It was.
Promos. I thought that, speaking of promos, I thought the Intercontinental Championship promo, not the Intercontinental, but the U.S. title promo.
No, hey, real quick, run back to the Intercontinental title promo between Damien and Gunther. I've kind of read a few things. Do you think that...
I mean, heavyweight championship.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so used to Gunther having the IC title.
I know, right? But go ahead. Go ahead.
But do you think it's elevated Damian Priest
Yes.
in his
Absolutely.
reign? Because now I'm kind of behind keeping that title on Priest, man, and sending Gunther down a little bit, letting him chase.
Honestly, that you being that from that perspective, I actually read an article today that talked about how
Yeah,
Triple.
we're not going in July again. That shit, my bad. Mom was commenting. Bro, that was, hey, I ain't gonna lie. That was rough. Disney wasn't bad.
Yeah,
Universal, bro, that shit was hot as fuck.
dude, it's been warm the last few days, man. Sure has. But no, I
Oh
think
no, the temperature I think wasn't that bad, but the humidity and shit, bro, that was hard being in that park, doing the Harry Potter rides and shit, and like walking around doing all the different little parts of the park. Oh yeah, I give props to the wife for doing it pregnant.
dude, I give props to people that actually go out there and work in that crap day in and day out.
For those of our friends that be watching out of state, look, we get it. It's hot in y'all state too, but like we are the taint of the United States because it's so fucking hot. Okay,
Nah, bro, no, we're what fries off the tank.
like the humidity just pisses you off for no fucking reason.
Dude,
Like,
like I talked to the
like
lady today, and I made this comment about the humidity. I said if America had workers that worked as efficient as humidity does, then we would get so much accomplished in this world. It'd be crazy because as soon as you step outside, that humidity be working overtime times three, bro.
listen, I we us people with glasses hate life right now. Okay, us
That's
people
why my kid stays at home.
like fuck. Look, I get out of the car and be walking in the damn office like this. They be like, "You okay?" No, can't fucking see shit.
Nah, bro, I'm at work like this reading tickets. I get shit correct, but I'm staring at it like this for a second.
Yeah,
Bro, good thing I've been in food service long enough. I know where my shit's at. I just do this.
yeah, right. But not going back to the question. I read a report today that stated how Triple H is actually more in favor for longer title reigns. He thinks it helps build the storylines. It helps create bigger plots to be able to branch off of other storylines. And that's something that I think is interesting because of what you just said about Damian Priest and him keeping the title. Because I do buy into Damian Priest's title run being elevated by this Gunther thing in the last few weeks. And then him being able to mouth off with Seth Rollins and have that thing with Seth Rollins, I think that elevated him because of the outcome of the match. Even though it ended the way it ended, the way he just dominated the final 30 seconds and then put the guy out, pinned and walked out, and he carried himself. He didn't hesitate at all, and I think that has elevated him. And so that being said, I'm on the train with you as buying into that because I do see them working Gunther because he's workable, man. He can, like, the last few weeks he's been fantastic.
I mean, for me, I want to see how does Gunther do without the title. Imperium's obviously, just him and Ludwig.
I mean,
Are you gonna make it? Are you gonna make them a tag team?
right.
Like,
My
do
personal
you run Gunther without in storylines not pertaining to a title? Because I don't need to see Gunther with a title for another 2 years, man.
Right, I agree. He doesn't have to have he not only elevated the Intercontinental Championship, the Intercontinental Championship elevated him because he does not have to have a title to carry a storyline. He is that good right now. And he is
Yes.
that over right now. But I'm referring to that. I also think Finn Balor will be the one to dethrone Damian Priest, and I believe the Prince of Darkness will be the heavyweight championship very soon.
No, it ain't gonna be Finn. Finn ain't gonna not to really throw a spoiler like that, but it'll involve the whole McIntyre and CM Punk Seth Rollins feud.
Oh,
It'll shift over that way.
I hope not.
I hate to say it, Balor's not gonna get a championship opportunity until that whole little trio feud is squashed and you get it passed around a little bit because you still got to put some prestige and names under that title. It's only had Seth Rollins, McIntyre for what was it, 5 minutes and 42 seconds,
Yeah.
and
Shit. And that's only
you
because
know,
the ramp was long.
yeah, and for me, you can still pass it around because at least you're having those involved.
Yeah.
You know, at least you got the title involved. You got Logan Paul not doing shit lately. We finally seen him show up to work tonight.
Look, and then it was funny because, to be honest with you, a couple of times in that promo, he really came off weak as fuck. Like, LA Knight ate him up in that promo.
Bro, I was gonna say LA Knight cooked the living fuck out of him.
Like
Yeah.
that shows hey, you thought you could do this and you not working on showing you can do this. Like if you would have
So
all this
Logan Paul can do this. Right now it's time to go ahead and put the title back on SmackDown. Let him go train with his brother for this whole Mike Tyson thing. Let him go train him for that fight. I'm all for it.
I agree.
And then let him come back around Rumble time.
I feel like Logan's whole thing is he half-asses this shit. Because there's
I
no
don't think
reason.
I don't think he's half-assing it. I think he's got a whole his plate's full. He still does that podcast religiously. He still promotes for Prime religiously, doing events. I don't think he's half-assing it.
Well,
I think
working the story.
no, I think they've bought into the brand. Look what's on the ring, man. Look in the middle of the ring. Logan Paul's brand is there. They've had the title on them. It's been a gimmick championship run.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, but now it's time to put it back in the hands of the full-time guys until you're ready to come back and be full-time.
Absolutely.
No disrespect, dude. That's why I said, man, give it to him. Let Logan come back at Royal Rumble. Let him get another opportunity.
I agree. 100%.
He can always get a rematch down the line just because he didn't get it right off the bat.
And in my opinion, he'll take that championship to a different height. I think he's over as fuck right now.
Well, you gotta give LA Knight a championship.
I feel like with LA Knight, you get the open US challenge back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we get the same thing. Okay. So you think they're gonna elevate him the same way they did Stone Cold? Because we've seen the comparisons.
Right.
Or do you think they're elevating him kind of in the way of Cena? US title first.
Honestly,
then if you're still in that hunt, you can get yourself a championship opportunity.
I feel like it's the Cena route. I would say it feels more like a Cena route than the Austin route.
I'm here, and we talked about it a few weeks ago. We don't have to consider this a new age to the Attitude Era. This is the Ruthless Aggression era done right.
Yes.
And I'm all behind that. Like, for real.
100%. It's probably it to me, what's coming up, like there ain't nothing more exciting to me right now. Um, Here's a plug. Check out the Plunder coming up next week on Thursday Night Live at 8 Eastern. Um, but the Bucks football is my most anticipated thing coming up, and I think you can pinch off of that a little bit. But like that, that's probably my other most anticipated moment. I need to have you know like the way wrestling was back then, and then now you take that and you can do way more with that from a creativity standpoint. As somebody who looks to that for sometimes 10 hours a week in entertainment for not only
Yeah.
me, but family, like
Well,
and
and
to do that for $12.99 or $17.99 or $19.99 a month,
I was gonna say, shit. Let's not forget here in what, a couple of months or a month,
month.
SmackDown goes to USA Network.
Yeah, month and a half.
What? And I'll say this shit. Why was Raw always successful? What has it always been on?
USA.
Where is it always sat? Monday night,
Mondays. Yeah,
9 p.m.
beginning of the week.
was the original time. Yeah, now it starts at 8,
Yeah,
but it was 9 p.m.
but you also get an extra hour. They just didn't move it up. They gave you an extra hour.
Yeah, it was 9 to 11.
11:05.
11:05. Sometimes 11,
Yeah,
hey, 11:10, 11:15, depending on what you got going on.
bro, I was so mad when they took that last 3 to 5 minutes away. I was so mad.
Hey, you noticing that they're ending SmackDown like 4 or 5 minutes early now?
Yeah.
I've noticed they've done that a few times. Yeah.
So, mom's asking anything about the new women. I'm hearing that I wish I could get more information on it, but all I'm hearing is they will be coming soon.
I can't wait.
And that's going to be really, because it's going to be cool. We're going to get it on. We're going to get a women's for both, like mid card for both brands.
Right. And I think
If not,
that's way
if
overdue.
not, if not, it will be like the women's tag titles. It can go to either brand.
Right.
Right.
I think
So
they're
that,
towards putting those mid card titles like the U.S. and Intercontinental Championship in the men's bracket. But I think, I mean, I do, like I mentioned in my comment just a second ago, I think it's way overdue, and I want to put that in retrospect. I say that, but it's also timing thing because there wasn't enough competition, a few years ago when it really was deserved to be,
um,
I
we
didn't think there was enough
let
competition to have that.
let me also point out the before 10 years ago. I'm gonna bring up Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna bring up the tribute to the troops.
Yeah.
Women couldn't compete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the first ever Saudi event? How many women were involved?
Yep.
It wasn't until the actual third event, I do believe, that the women were finally able to be involved.
Yeah, that was a big ordeal. I remember all that.
Yeah, and they were able to do it without having face coverings. They were able to wear
Well,
some
from the
sort.
picture though, as a people, like if you think culturistically, that's literally mind altering how that culture just shifted like that to be able to accept that. That was a fantastic thing.
The fact that they allow the women out there in the events, and I do see them without the face coverings.
Yeah.
Oh, and a lot of people got to understand it's really when the women are out in the market or out shopping or with their husband at events, that they got to have that if that is what the male says they gotta have.
Right.
Like, it's not automatic.
Yeah.
That a lot of people don't understand. That law changed like forever ago. But I don't see it coming up at SummerSlam. I see them introducing it, but I see it also being a
I feel like
tournament
I feel like
that happens in Saudi Arabia,
I think it starts in
making history.
Saudi. I think it starts in Saudi, but I feel like it gets introduced more once everything gets settled with SmackDown coming over to USA and Netflix starting to get that transition to Netflix. I think that's when we really get that finalized into play a little bit
Yeah,
more.
well, that I think they start with one, and depending on how it's accepted, like you said, once everything gets finalized, everybody gets settled in their new home. Maybe you do get that second one. You know, that would be cool. So, Derek, you brought up something earlier. You were reading an article. What will bring it up? I want you to introduce this topic.
Um, it was really about title runs and the shift and the differences of the way the WWE is going to move towards as opposed to what it was. Because if you go back in time, and if you're a wrestling fan and you got availability, get on Peacock right now and look up some of that content. Some of these champions, these guys that we all remember, they were big time and they were champions for a long time. Even guys like Ric Flair. Ric Flair held the belt a long time. You don't really see that, but in the end, he was beating somebody every. If he lost the title in 2 matches, he had the title back around his waist. That's the kind of thing Ric Flair did his whole career. You know, and they got away from that in the last 15 to 20 years where it's a lottery. Title was changing hands all the time everywhere, whether it was a mid card title or the major titles. So Triple H was part of this article, and his opinion was he favors long term title runs because it helps develop the storyline, it helps build and anticipate and put other branches in said storyline. It gives that time to develop and give the fans, you and I, enough time to sit back and kind of contemplate, like, okay, we see what's going on with these two, but you see this on the side over here. What's really going to happen with this in the end? And then you see the conclusion of this over here, but all of a sudden this pops off over here. And they can develop these things, which makes it more entertaining for you and me as a fan. And I think that's a fantastic idea. And I'm going to tell you what, we've said it before and we'll say it again. Hail to Triple H. Give the man his flowers every time something comes up. And he's not perfect. Let me say this. He's not perfect. But if you go back to the DX days, he was a huge part of that creative process, him and Shawn Michaels, when they went through that DX stage. So let's not get it twisted. The guy has been very in tune with this business for a very long time. So when a guy like Paul Heyman gives you your flowers like he did, it's well deserved.
All right. Well, like I said, you brought this topic up earlier about who's Mr. WrestleMania, and we got to thinking if we had to name a Mr. SummerSlam, who would it be? I got a list of names. I mean, 30, what is it, 36, 35, 36 years now that
Yep.
they've been doing this event.
I think
Something like that.
36 coming up, I think.
So, yeah, you're right, 30, 35, going on 36.
I think, let's go with Triple H. I mean, he's had a really successful long career.
All right, well, I pulled up the rankings,
Okay.
and
I'm,
I have the all-time standings.
we'll take three
Okay.
guesses.
Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all three guesses. There, go ahead.
A Triple H.
Triple H,
Yeah.
third all time. He's got a 8-5 record.
Go ahead, Trevor.
Bret Hart.
Ooh, he's six. Got a 7-4 record. Damn, he was part of the company that long. I thought Vince had screwed him like 5 or 6 years in.
It felt like it.
It did.
How about Stone Cold?
Stone Cold. Damn, he ain't in the top 20? Where's he at? Damn, where are the. Oh, 37.
Oh wow!
Hang on though, that's not bad though. He's got a 3-2 record. He's only had 5 matches, which his career in WWE really didn't last that long if you think about it.
Career. Once he hurt his neck that first time, it was really 3/4, halftime. Going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, now the knee injuries, a,
A
a
plethora.
barrage of things. I
Dude,
mean,
warrior, bar none. People don't respect and understand what that guy went through. Every time he entered the ring, about halfway through his career, because he was going through all of that all the time, and the
yeah.
way he still went out there and entertained was just phenomenal.
Well, I was gonna say, like, don't let that 37th fool you. Even with a 3-2 record, like those couple of years we had him, he was the reason that they started beating WCW in the Monday Night Wars. Him and Rock and Taker finally getting their feet underneath them, everybody buying into it and getting that raw edge. Like that was
Let me make this bold prediction, or this bold announcement. I think Stone Cold is the only reason, because of the rivalry that him and The Rock had, is one of the only reasons that The Rock can be the final boss and be that large. Because to be honest with you, they both elevated each other's career to an astronomical space, man. If you doubt me, go watch that rivalry on Peacock. I'm trying to tell you, it is fantastic.
ah. Hey, crazy enough, you're talking about The Rock. Just because you said it, he's 40th. He also has a 3-2 record.
Oh wow. Well, hey, look, Stone Cold. But okay, go ahead, Trevor.
Uh, the People's Goat, John Cena.
Oh,
John Cena, 18. He's got a 5-10 record. Oof.
John is the best in
He might be
the
a
history of the business, though.
bro. That's 15 years right there, man. I mean, you
That's a
can't
lot.
really hate on the dude.
I mean, that to me, that's kind of like what I think about. Even though it's a 5-10 record, he would still be up there in time, because, like you said, that's 15 matches. That's a long time, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Maybe that's another. Maybe he's not the goat.
Right. Oh,
He's
yeah.
on the Mount Rushmore,
Look, we've talked about that.
but
Absolutely.
he's not your
That,
goat.
that's why I said the People's Goat.
But is he's the kind of guy who could sell the shitty, you know, sticky paper wallpaper, you know,
Yeah.
to a contractor that's building $1 million home and make him put him in the home.
I
Like,
was gonna say, man, that five
that,
and ten record says a lot.
it really does. It really does. You can't argue that.
Especially when you start to you think back to the stories and all that shit back then.
Yeah. Well, look,
You
my
know,
last
hey,
guess.
you know
I,
what? His adversary, just because I remember that rivalry thing,
yeah.
Batista, 4-1,
Mm.
Oh.
but he's below John Cena.
Oh. That makes
Eh,
that makes sense. To be on my last guess, and if you want to think about this question, it's tough, but you go back to what we were just talking about, 15 years with John Cena, that longevity. The first wrestler that comes to mind, I mean, there's two of them when you talk longevity that come to mind. Um, One of them's Ric Flair, but I wouldn't even think to mention Ric Flair right now because he spent a lot of his career in WCW and NWA back in the early years. Um, but at the same time, I'm going to go with the Dead Man, the Undertaker.
You would be correct.
Ooh.
Undertaker is first with a 10-5 or a 10-win, 5-loss record with 1 draw.
Ooh. Who was that draw against?
You guys want to take a wild guess on that one?
Trevor?
Edge.
I do have it in front of me, so I do remember the storyline. Think Legend Killer.
Batista.
Almost. I hear voices in my head too.
I mean,
Randy
the voices in my head tell me to do a lot of things that I know I should not pull the trigger on.
Hey, you guys are correct.
Also, Ciampa trying to RKO Randy Orton everywhere.
Oh man, that shit was. Hey, I seen that video the other day. Had his daughter go get his autograph and go. Oh, bro,
Dude, that was classic.
you were right though. It is Randy Orton. He is fourth all time in SummerSlam win-loss record with 8 wins, 7 losses, and a draw.
Okay.
He might have a match at SummerSlam. I think this is probably his last 2 years.
Yeah.
Cena's hanging it up, bro. I'd hate to believe that Orton ain't next. He's doing a hell of a lot of bumps, bro.
Yeah. He's taking.
And I would not I would not blame him if it was, hey, I've been doing this for the sake of the storyline, for the sake of everything, my dedication. He gets his last run, bro. That would be amazing.
Yep. I agree.
Speaking of that, what did y'all think of that ending? I don't know how I feel about Cody and Solo, but I get where it's going. It feels cheap.
I'm not really excited about it. I mean, look, every other match, you look at the SummerSlam card, and the 4 or 5 matches, we got a few, 4 or 5 matches that we know are going to happen. And then we'll add that, Logan Paul, an LA Knight match. You got the Bailey and Nia match. You've got the Bloodline versus Cody, or not Bloodline, but Solo versus Cody. And I'll be honest with you, I'm more anticipating most of the other matches, most of them, not all of them, but most of them over this match because I kind of see where it's going, and I'm not too excited about it. But at the same time, the only thing I throw back on that's have a saving grace is Roman Reigns.
I don't know. There's a couple of, you know what? I'm looking forward to the LA Knight Logan Paul thing.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where this Bailey and Nia Jax thing goes, especially with Miss Money in the Bank. That was Tiffy lost tonight.
Oof.
She lost to Meeshan, so shout out to the fact that
it's about being lucky more so than good, and taking advantage of opportunities, and that's exactly what Michin did. Bailey came out.
Bro, hey, knowing it's scripted, let me just say, I'm so happy they finally wrote in a fucking win for Michin.
She deserves
and on the main card at that.
Yeah,
on the main card, bro, like, for real. Like, I don't care where it was, but the fact that it was on the main card is even better.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
and so she's put in her work in the last couple of years.
I'm not gonna lie, that match has me excited. The Priest and Gunther match has me excited, but
Yes.
to kind of go to on the Cody and Bloodline situation,
Okay.
it feels rushed, and I'm just ready for Roman at this point. Like Roman is doing exactly what he said he was gonna do. If you watched his documentary, I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna have the
We didn't
world
make you miss me.
wanting me back. And god damn it, I am tired of these motherfuckers chanting, "We want Roman." Like, bitch, we
So
get
hang
it.
on.
He
Hear
ain't
me out
coming
on
yet.
hear me out on something, because I'm seeing some rumors, and I wouldn't really hate it. Could Jacob potentially turn on Solo,
Ooh. This soon?
teaming with Roman? Or not, because he deleted his tweet earlier this week from 2 years ago, saying that he acknowledges Roman as his tribal chief.
Huh. Well,
So,
look at
does he acknowledge Solo? Does he acknowledge Roman?
we'll look at it this way. We've got reports coming in that Haikuli, if I'm saying that right, it has been
Yeah, I don't know.
Haikulu has been confirmed to have signed with the WWE, and he is actually Tama Tonga's brother. So if you look at them from a numbers standpoint, you've got Solo, Tama, Haikulu, and uh,
Think about it, and if you think about it,
then you got
yes,
those
Rikishi Samoan
Fatu
along with The Rock, but it's that high chief,
Yeah.
that blood. I could see a Fatu going with the Fatus. I don't think we're really seeing what's unfolding yet,
Yeah.
because there's more coming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm hearing there a couple of the Samoan girls, man. They may have left women
Tonga
for
Twin.
women wrestling, and they might be popping up too at one point. 'Cause they've been spotted in Orlando,
Oh yeah, they've actually had pictures on social media of them in the performance center. So that's big time. And look, this
bro.
is the I think we talked about it before about how expansive this thing could actually get. It could get also really messy with the storylines, so they have to be very careful with them moving forward. And I think timing and moving each piece in its place is going to be the key moment.
You know what? Somebody had made a comment that WWE can go the route at this point of AEW and make a third show and just make it straight, the Samoan dynasty.
Hey, speaking of
Like
As
they're
the
about to have enough
Samoans
for the
turn,
bloodline to have their own little roster, bro. This is like
as the
this
Samoans
feels
turn,
NW, bro. This feels NWO.
right, right. Well, look, speaking of
Think of that.
just a little pop it on that. If you want to watch a really freaking great match, this past week MJF won the title from Will Ospreay in a
Yeah, I
six
was
and
debating if I wanted to talk about that for a minute.
really good match. I watched it.
All
Really,
I can say is I know they got a pay per view coming
really
up in London,
shit.
and all I'm gonna say is I hope that there's a rematch popping up on that card,
Yeah,
and I really hope they put that title back on Osprey, or they have a plan to move him forward with the world title,
that's what I
or
think.
he's on it, or I need to know that he's on his way out and coming to the WWE. I would love to have, bro. I watched bits and pieces of that match. 60 fucking minutes, bro. Almost 60 minutes.
That was a long time, bro.
MJF won with what, 2 seconds left?
Yeah,
Like, That is insane, dude. Like, yeah, I will admit for that, I don't give a shit what Meltzer wants to rate that shit. I haven't even seen anything. That that's good story.
Yeah.
That's
Look,
good story. That is a good That's good storytelling for a match for a night. That makes me want to see the next one.
that right there, people real don't let me fun fact. I'll maybe you can look it up while I'm talking about it. How many 60-minute matches there have been in the history of the wrestling business? There haven't been that many. That's a very difficult thing to do. The endurance to not only go that way, got that far, but not only go that far, but to perform and to execute and to entertain and to do the whole job and not part of the job, because wrestling is not the job. Wrestling and entertainment is the job. So you have to be able to not only win the match and be able to beat your opponent, you have to be able to put on a good match that the fans get entertained by. No matter who wins and who loses, sometimes they're going to care for this way and sometimes they're going to care for that. But at the same time, they got to make sure there's that pop. And WWE is consistent with that because they have good storylines.
Well, I was gonna bring up a point. We've done seen 60-minute matches in the little rarity that we had that not this last one, but there was one on the WWE scene under a previous creative team that it got booed for the whole hour.
By the way, there's been 24 at least that I'm seeing, but I'm looking to see if it's all WWE or if there's. Oh, okay. Hang on. There's been 24 WWE ones. There's been 2 AEW ones. There's been 10 TNA ones. There's been 2 in WCW.
That's not a lot.
Listen, it's not like your regular sport 60-minute match. Like there is no halftime. That is 60 straight minutes of nonstop moving and flying and attacking somebody other than okay, they done slammed me and I get to lay here for a second. Like you are constantly attacking one another.
I
That is
honestly
brutal.
that match of four stars. I give that match a 4 star.
Yeah,
For
I
that,
haven't watched. You know what? I'm not gonna rate it anything. I haven't watched the full thing. I'll go back and I'll go and watch the full match,
I watched it playing Madden.
but I will say that is really cool that they did that. I don't know how I feel about a title change for free on TV,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. Now, Mom says yeet when it comes to. I'm pretty sure Mom's talking about the bloodline when she says yeet.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, man. Jamin talking sweet lately to mommy.
He's got her digits.
Yeah, because mommy said yeet.
Yeet.
She confirmed it. We didn't. We're just
Hey,
reporting.
does Jay Uso have your
So
number? Yeet. You see?
let's talk about it. Oh, you think they're gonna go to Waffle House?
Saw that shit.
On a real note, if I'm being 100% real, she don't belong in no damn Waffle House. She is not ready for that experience of her life.
So hear me out on this one because I like where the storyline's going. I'm hearing they're kind of going face with Rhea and Damien, and I know we had talked about it Monday night a little bit. Get throw Jay into that mix, bro, and you don't have to put Bloodline.
You can let them three
What if, you know what, man? The final boss. What if you get a Roman Reigns bloodline And Damien, I mean, I don't know that you could get a world title on Jay per se, but maybe you do. But you get
You need,
all of them together, or maybe you get Jay and Mommy together. Maybe you keep Damien on it. Maybe you keep Finn do it. I don't know. But maybe you get them going against the Rock's bloodline at one point, and everybody just kind of gets involved.
huh,
Because maybe the roster is tired of this bloodline bullshit.
possibly.
But
I mean,
bro,
I
can
can
you
see the
imagine Jay
roster
coming?
having
Bro,
everybody
can you
win
imagine
a
Jay
match.
coming back to the bloodline with the world heavyweight title and Rhea Ripley? And Mommy had the women's world title? Bro, like how crazy would that? What they did bro? They did a story that they told last WrestleMania.
Think of Triple H in China. Like that kind of
Think,
story.
think of what they, bro. Yeah, think of what they did
Wow.
with Triple H in China, but at the
I was
same
just
time,
about to
man.
say that, Derek.
But also think about it,
That's all I can say.
bro. The story of Jay coming back to the bloodline, even kind of tagging with his brother, for a night. You ain't gotta reunite the Usos for full time, bro. You can do it for a night. They ain't gotta chase, tag titles anymore with each other, bro. They're one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, top five, no doubt.
Like top, but yeah, you know what?
I could say top three, but top five just to be argumentative.
I'm gonna say top five of the modern era. I'm gonna say top three WWE.
Okay.
Modern era being whatever fucking tag team from whatever company you want to put in there.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of other people, other company, Big Show was talking about his knees and hips are replaced. I'm hearing rumors, man. Do you think it's time for the Big Show to retire? He still wants to wrestle. I don't think
Um,
it's I don't think it's a good idea.
Sir, you're a tall dude who done got your lower body worked on surgically, and let's be real, like you still losing weight from being quite large, and the 400 or 500 pound sense, like, dog. I wouldn't even want you doing commentary or interviews. Like, literally, go sit at home, relax. Maybe get
You
on
know what? No,
Busted
you know
Open
what? I
once
didn't.
a week, but like,
I was at.
relax.
I was at. What was it? I want to say it was a Full Gear when he appeared, when he like debuted. I was alright with it. Keep his ass on commentary, bro. That's it. Don't have him getting involved with anybody. Don't nothing like that, man.
I'm gonna piggyback off of Trevor and you. Um, I agree. Let's make it unanimous. I think personally, if you go back now, I'm 44. I go back to the original big man, the giant. That's when he came into professional wrestling. He came in WCW with Kevin Sullivan, and he was nasty. Him and Hulk Hogan actually had this. It was it Hogan or Sting? I think it was Hogan. Had the big monster truck fight. It might have been Sting. I can't remember.
It knows thing because they had that, or no, it was Goldberg because they both had those monster trucks.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I remember going to, I was doing the monster truck rallies with my dad and shit, bro.
Those used to be so much fun when we were kids. But yeah, he's had a
Man,
fantastic
those
career.
things were lit.
He's had a fantastic career. But going back off to what Trevor said about the logic of it, Like, he has physically been dog walked in the ring because of his size. That's the only way for someone to go in there and to beat him. They had to get over on him like that. And to be able to take those bumps like that as a big man, my brother, my brother is 6'7", 6'7", 380 pounds. And I've watched him grow. You know, he's a humongous dude. And we all have these concerns because of historically, those really large men tend to have very difficult issues moving forward later in their life. And we're talking about a guy who's been in the wrestling business for what, 30 odd years almost? You know, like, holy shit, big guy. It's time to hang it up.
Agreed. Like, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not gonna say you gotta have this dude keep going in the ring. Like, your in-ring career, man, call that shit a fucking nut. Don't even go out there as a gimmick. I don't need to see you as a manager. I don't need to see you as a Tony Schiavone being in the ring.
Go enjoy your
They,
family
yeah, either go home and retire
or get in the back.
or sit in the commentary, bro, and just sit your big ass down and commentate. If you suck at it, I mean, bro, put him on. You know what? If he goes back to WWE, put him on a pre-show, post-show, something like that. I wouldn't give a fuck.
Creative.
Wait, I got an idea. Why not, like you just say, creative? Why not go and like create a school and help these other tall athletes that want to take a chance in the business? Because you weren't horrible
Bro,
in
he was
the
said
mic,
that's
weren't
what
horrible in the ring. Like you could help people like Omos. You could help people like
that's what he originally went to AEW to do.
Yep.
That's my problem, bro. It's like no disrespect to Mark Henry either, man. Like me and Corey were there when he debuted. We even we were reading and hearing he's nothing more than a coach. He's supposed to help with the talent in the back. Then they wanted their issues. They wanted to suck up limelight. They wanted that spotlight because, of course, bro. Let's be blunt. As wrestlers, you know they want to. They still feel they got it.
Yeah. It's that competitive nature. It's not
Yeah,
easy to get that shit up.
and I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it.
No, not at all.
Not one bit.
Now,
It's
look,
just
true passion in what these guys are doing, whatever it is, whether we're talking about football, about a business like my dad. Let me speak to this same issue. Like, and my dad, he 37 years in this particular business he did, and he did so well at his job. He was an overachiever. His dad died when he was 11, and he actually graduated high school with 2 jobs. And he actually went as far as to tell the corporate business, and I won't name names, but he told this national corporate business, I don't want your vice presidency of this, southeastern region of the United States. So they created a position for him, and he basically went into the customers that they had, and basically his job was to negotiate more business from this and away from the competitors who he was in sales, and he did that very successfully, and they created a position that they now have over the whole country and the whole nation, and that kind of dedication comes from a long time of doing this, and that's what we give back to. And he does that right now. You got guys that call him all the time, and I think what you said, Trevor, is a really good idea, of taking these guys and really building them up that really don't get that competition, because these big guys that come in that we've grown up seeing, like the Big Show and even Mark Henry. I mean, hell, Mark Henry was the world's strongest man.
Henry wasn't bad. I mean, no disrespect to either one of them. They're both former world champions.
Absolutely.
It's just I know them both coming in, bro. They ain't aiming. They ain't aiming to be the guy standing in the back.
No.
Big Show, big. I mean, yeah, they can help the big guys, But are they really going to? How do you do that without trying to steal the spotlight? How do you
Right.
know they don't ruin those guys' characters?
Yeah, absolutely.
It could easily happen. Mark Henry would be great and creative.
Oh yeah, he's very smart guy.
Speaking of creative, I'm glad they finally gave Andrade a win on live TV.
Bro, that was a hell of a match.
Bro, that was
I,
fucking nice.
That was a
I,
And he
I'm,
still, you know what, bro? I still think Carmelo found a way to get over.
he did, and in my opinion, that match could have went longer. I need that on the PLE.
look. I think we need to. I think we need the rematch on the PLE.
I'm not gonna, you know what? I'll go with both of y'all, and I'll one up it.
Add it on the SummerSlam pre-show.
Nah, put a title and give on. You know what, man? We need a title such as the cruiserweight, something like that for these guys that have that ability. And you don't even have to call it a cruiserweight. You can come up with another name without calling it 24/7. Without, but kind of go.
Hang
It
on though.
bounces both shows.
Hear me out though. The
Okay.
cruiserweight, you could do like you used to do when you had the cruiserweight division, because you remember there were back then. Matt Hardy used to ride the cruiserweight line, even though he was like a light heavyweight. So
Yeah.
even if you
Okay.
don't do the cruiserweight, and let's say you do the light heavyweight, you have talent like
You had
Andrade
that. Well, that's where I was
and
going with it, man. You have
Carmelo,
that
and
type of
hell, even
talent.
Trey. Like you got that group that can be a light heavyweight champion for that low card.
And I mean, not to really mock AEW with it, but they have an abundance of titles.
That is true.
You you could create some shit like that and have it between both shows and have it defended between your light heavyweight guys that kind of can't be put in that mid card. And I get it. You don't really have to put titles on a guy to make the story worth it. The wrestler should. But I just feel like it just would make it more compelling. I need, like y'all are saying, a longer match, bro. Like, I need to see these guys and a couple other ones like Santos
Yeah.
flipping, flailing, like going to that lucha libre route.
Yes, sir.
And you had heard Corey Graves mention it. Andrade had realized that Carmelo was putting out a little bit more lucha libre than he expected.
Right.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I give props to it, man. Like I've always, I like that you don't have to give Carmelo wins, bro, to have him over. His
Oh, that is
ability
true.
alone is still fire.
And he's so freaking green still. That's the scary part about his abilities.
I think I think this next generational crop, oh, they're gonna be at like what most people would say. Oh, they're in their peak because they're in their like mid to late 20s, early 30s, and they're gonna be in their
Bro,
mid 20s, not
Andrade,
touching their peak yet. They're just that athletically talented.
Yes, they ain't even fucking great yet.
yeah, well,
Still clamoring about him.
I was gonna say Andrade is not young, but he's not old,
No,
Right.
no.
and he's been doing it for a hot minute. I like, bro. Even Alex said she thought Andrade was just gonna be, a couple moves, what gonna be like that.
Yeah.
He's showcased, bro, and I love that Vince wouldn't have let that happen. Actually, Vince didn't let it happen. I'll say that. I'll put it out there because that's why he left.
Hey, and let's go ahead and once again, we've done this in the past, and I just want to keep mentioning him every time we can. We get the opportunity. Nick Aldis and these GMs, man, they have really been doing great work. They have been really involved in a lot of the storylines, and not just involved in them as part of the storyline, but really making them an impact, really making and using their abilities and their power and their stance as a profound impact in a lot of these storylines that are help pushing these things and making them great matches.
I agree.
Yeah, I was about to say you got it right on the head.
Like I ain't got no other comment to that because that was perfectly said.
Yeah,
You got to give flowers in the right way, and I know I don't. I'm not a green thumb, but let me tell you, when I worked as a merchandiser working with the floral plants at Lowe's a couple of summers when I lived in Indiana, look, bro, you learn a lot of things. Details, and talking about how you develop things. Like, I watched you take a bunch of flowers and you're looking at it on this cart, and then when you get done with it 6 hours later, you're looking at this beautiful array, and it's.
oh no, I know what you're talking about because there was a couple years ago I worked for Costa Farms because I wanted to get away from the kitchen for the summer.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did merchandising at Home Depot and Lowe's, and it was crazy because I was doing Lowe's at the time before they had the contract for both.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, I worked at Home Depot back in the day in garden. Now, like, I'm doing this as the plant person.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it was cool because I wasn't an employee of Home Depot. I could do my own work when I wanted. I didn't have a set schedule.
A lot of somebody actually told me, he's like, dude, you should be a motivational speaker. I'm like, well, if you talk to me about football and you talk to me about wrestling and you talk to me about fishing, I'll probably be one of the best conversations you've ever had. Outside of that, it's we're still working on some things.
But, man, I really ain't got no other topics wrestling wise, unless you guys
Like
do.
it was I'm not gonna lie, it was a great week of wrestling.
Yes, it was.
It was just everything was just like either it was just like filling in the story, making it come out to be more. There wasn't too much, not too less. It was just, hey, add a little bit, add turn the page. Turn
Yeah.
the page
Yeah.
of this show.
No, you know what? I think it was. I know where you're going at with it. I don't think we get to turn the page part yet. I
Well,
think that's next week.
I'm not saying turn the page as in like new
But I was
chapter.
gonna
I'm
say, I
saying
think
like
this is that okay. New sentence. We have
right.
our match. We're about to, and now we're about to get us the story. I think the story gets told on a lot of this at SummerSlam, and I can't wait.
So excited.
You know,
August 3rd.
But hey, before we end the show, let me say this, just to point out something, a small topic on the pancake portion of it, just in case anybody's wondering. This week, that we'll go into detail on the plunder. Actually, it'll be one of the subject topics going into the plunder. We've discussed this in the past, and it was not the Buccaneers that released Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory released himself from the contract.
Yeah,
There's
I'd
a lot
seen that.
of speculation going on about why and what's going on, but and we'll get into that this next coming week on the plunder. But I wanted to just throw that out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I had seen something about it earlier.
And camp starts next week, baby.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie. I should be more excited for the season. I'm really ready for regular season to start more
Me
than
too.
anything.
Me too.
The wrestling's got me like stuck right now. It's like, all right, let's go.
At that game,
Right.
I mean, I pay attention to the preseason, but I pay attention to the preseason as far as the depth goes to a lot of the teams and a lot of these players moving around, because there still could be a lot of action and a lot of movement with trades.
No, no, no. I get where you're going at with it. I'm not gonna lie. the league. I'm
WWE.
not gonna. Well, I'm not gonna blame the team only, but I'm gonna blame the league as well. When they sold out, when it came to this whole camp experience,
Yeah.
that's where I'm starting to just be like, all right, now it is the money.
Yeah.
Right.
I know it's always been the money, but it's just like, all right, now you're really starting to push it with people.
Yeah. With people
Like
that's
what the
but like people that's been doing this for years and decades
yeah,
doing it with leisure.
like I get it, man. You got to keep some sort of thing. Like, dude, go back to doing free tickets, man. Like
Right.
open it back up.
Yeah.
Like fuck all this shit, man. That's the shit that's aggravating to me. That's what I'm saying, man. Like right now, that's why wrestling got me hooked.
Oh, dude, there's a lot going on and it's great. It's great content. Great content.
Oh yeah, like
Beautiful.
at least they're keeping me hooked when they're choking me for money.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Well, look, if you ain't got nothing else, brother, then I think we can call it a show on this Friday night and start our
Yeah,
weekend. Right.
yes sir. Well, don't forget Monday we are going back to the 7 o'clock hour on the show.
Okay.
So we're gonna start doing that. We're gonna run that, and if need be, we can cut down to just a weekly show if we would like, and we can run it Friday night. We'll get everybody's opinion
Let's see
as to what they prefer.
August through preseason. See what we think.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping the Monday slot open. I know it'll kind of open itself up when the season happens. So, but I will talk to you guys on Monday.
All
All
right.
right.
Fantastic weekend.
Yes, sir.
You too.
Shut up, bitch.